YouTube, what are the people, places, and things in your life? Are they a liability or are they an asset? Well, we're going to talk about that today in today's episode of Narrow Minded. Okay, but first, before we go on, let me give props to my boy LeBron James, right? And the reason why I give props to LeBron James before I start every show is because this is the athlete that inspires me the most. And I grew up playing sports, basketball, football, running track, playing baseball, everything, the whole nine. And I just admire LeBron greatness and how he works at his craft, regardless of how good he is, regardless of how old he is, regardless of what he's accomplished. I also like his spirit, his soul. He just feels like a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a Taurus. I'm spiritual. I can read people. I know people. You know what I'm saying? I know a negative person or evil person compared to a positive person or an angel or a nice person. You know what I'm saying? I could do that. And this guy right here is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? But the main reason why I really mess with Brian like that, why he's my favorite athlete of all time, is because how he responds to adversity, how he responds to the people that don't like him, how he responds to, when he loses a big game, and just how he responds to adversity. I like the way he responds to adversity. He learns from it, he comes back and he's better, and he doesn't let it get him and take him out. He doesn't let it take him out. So, that's why I've messed with Brian. He always rises above the hate. A lot of people out here are petty, and I don't like petty people. I don't like people that, go tit for tat. I don't like, just evil people. I don't like hateful people. I don't like people that hate. And there's a lot of people that hate on LeBron, but for some reason he seems to rise above it. He seems like it doesn't bother him. So that's one reason why I give props to my man LeBron. No, I don't worship LeBron. I don't think LeBron is better than me. I don't think LeBron is a god. I'm just appreciating someone for their greatness. I mean, damn, can't we do that? Can't you appreciate somebody for their greatness without people saying, oh, you worshiping him? Well, no, I'm not. I don't worship nobody but myself and the universe and the Most High and the creator of all things. I don't worship no man, okay? But anyway, let's move forward from my little rant, right? Are the people, places, and things in your life a liability or an asset, right? So let's dive into that, okay? So, first, before we move forward, I'm going to give you the definitions of liability and the definitions of asset. Okay, so the three definitions of liability is, number one, the state of being responsible for something, especially by law. Number two, a thing for which someone is responsible, especially a debt or a financial obligation. Number three, this is the third definition of liability. A person or thing whose presence or behavior is likely to cause embarrassment or put one at a disadvantage. So those are the three definitions of liability, right? Now let me give you three definitions of assets. Number one definition of asset, a useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. Number 2, property owned by a person or company regarding as having value or available to meet debts, commitments, or legacies. Okay, so the second definition is property owned by a person or company regarded as having value and available to meet debts, commitments, and legacies. All right. The third definition is, it's random as hell, but I'm gonna read it anyway. Military equipment such as planes, ships, communications, and radar installations employed or targeted in military operations. Okay, so pretty much they're talking about how, planes, ships, communications, radar installations can be an asset for a military. Okay, so now that we have the definitions of liabilities and assets, let's apply those to the people, places, and things in our life to see if they are an asset or an liability. Okay, so is the people, places, or things in your life an asset or a liability to your happiness? Okay, so because it's all about happiness, we all want to be happy. That's the number one goal. A lot of us think that making a lot of money will make us happy. A lot of us think that having, being famous can make us happy. And a lot of people think, and some people just think, if I could just smoke weed all day, that could make me happy. All right. But anyway, let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? So the people in your life, are the people in your life a liability or an asset? Your friends, your family, and your love relationships, are they an asset or are they a liability? A lot of us have, friends in our life that they're there, but they're not really contributing to our life. They're just there to be around. And a lot of these friends we met when we were children. You know what I'm saying? And as we have gotten older, we have outgrown these friends because the direction that we want to go in our life, these friends, can't help us get there, either because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the understanding, they don't have the finances, they don't have, the know-how, they don't have even the support. They can't even support you because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Or, the habits that they have in the environment that they're in or that they want to be around is not an asset to where you want to go in your life. So if you hang around these friends and you go to their environment, you're going to be in an environment that is a liability instead of an asset to you becoming who you truly want to be and to you becoming happy. And a lot of us outgrow our friends and we don't want to, let them go because we feel like we're being fake, we're being phony, or we're not loyal. And at the end of the day, if you keep these friends that are not helping you progress towards you being happy or towards you achieving your goals and your dreams, then you're not being loyal to yourself. You're not being loyal to yourself. So who would you rather be loyal to, yourself or your friend that's a liability instead of an asset? Okay, then you have those friends that are assets to your life. You know what I'm saying? Those friends that call you every once in a while to check on you, give you great advice and let you know what's right from wrong, or whether you were right or whether you were wrong, or they don't sugarcoat it and they don't, ask you, they don't expect less of you. They actually expect more of you. They actually expect you to be the best that you can be. They push you to be the best that you can be. They support you. You know, if they don't have the money to support you, if they don't have the education to support you, if they don't have the know-how to support you, they just support you by saying, you know, keep hanging in there, keep doing your thing, don't give up, you know, or they're just there to listen and to be an ear to listen and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Those friends are assets. You know what I'm saying? Especially the friends that do have an understanding, that do have the education, that do have the resources to help you get to the place that you need to get to. Those friends are assets, right? Because they, like the definition said. What did the definition say of asset? A useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. They're useful. They're valuable. You know what I'm saying? They you know, if they don't have nothing to give you, they can be valued by lifting your spirits, by being the ear to so you can vent to. You know what I'm saying? They don't always have to have resources to help you, but as long as they're always there for you and they always keep it real with you, always keep it 100 with you, they are an asset. You know, they're not going to tell you you're right when you're wrong. They're going to tell you you're wrong when you're wrong, and they're going to tell you you're right when you're right. Okay? So, you know, are the friends in your life an asset or not, or a liability? Do they add to your life or do they take away from your life? Right? Family relationships. Like, now this is a hard one because, you know, your family is your family. You really can't get away from them. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck to them. You're attached to them through blood and through, you know, so through like you pretty much can't get away from your family, but you don't have to deal with your family. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't have to, you can keep a distance away from your family, and you can set up boundaries, you know, for yourself with dealing with your family. All right. Especially the ones that are liabilities. You know what I'm saying? Those family members that are negative, you know, that, you know, never have anything to give you, always asking for something, always taking but never giving, or those family members that, you know, talk behind your back, or those family members that are jealous of you, or those family members that don't support your dreams, don't support your aspirations, don't support, you know, your goals, and, you know, don't pour any positivity into you. And, you know, those family members that always remember you back before you became who you are now. You know, like back when we were kids, you was probably a certain way, or they called you this and that like that. But now that you're grown and you're a completely different person, you've outgrown that you know, neighborhood, you know, self, or, you know, that childhood version of yourself. You're a completely different person, but they continue to try to bring you back to being that person, or try to make you be who you were back then, without respecting the new version of you. You know what I'm saying? That's a liability. You know what I'm saying? They're not an asset as a family member, and you have to set up boundaries when dealing with these people. You know what I'm saying? Even with your friends that are the same way, you got to set up boundaries with them. Or you could just let your friends, you could just let them go. You know what I'm saying? But your family, they're going to be there, you know what I'm saying, some way or another. So you got to set up boundaries with your friends, if they're with your family, if they're like that. You know, your family structure, the way you were raised and things like that, is that a liability, or is that an asset? You know, think about your childhood, how you was raised. Would you want to raise your children like that? You know, would you want however you was raised, would you want to repeat that again? Was like, how did that influence you to the person that you are today? Was it a negative influence, or was it a positive influence? Okay. So, you know, dealing with your family, you know, your relationship with them, is it a liability or is it an asset? You know, the way you were raised, the people who taught you, are those people assets or liability in the way that they taught you, the way that they raised you? If it was a liability, if you know you grew up and your family function, or your parents or your guardian angels or your mom, your dad, or your brothers and sisters, if you grew up in a negative household, with negativity all around, nobody is aspiring to be anything important in their life, or nobody is trying to be the best person that they can be, and people resort to negative thinking and negative behavior, and anger, and blaming people, and then not taking responsibilities for their actions, and not pretty much being a good person, and not your parents not being good parents, and not raising you the way that they supposed to. And you guys know what I mean. When you when you did not have that good upbringing that maybe someone else had. For example, the Huxtables. I know that's not a reality. That's not reality. That's a fictional show, but it's real people in this world that grew up in households like the Huxtables, and then there's real people that grew up in households like Bebe's Kids. If y'all ever seen that movie Bebe's Kid, you know what I'm saying? So if you grew up in a household like the movie Bebe's Kids, then your family and your upbringing was a liability. But if you grew up in a household like the Huxtables, then your family and your upbringing is an asset, and you can take what you learned from both situations and to better your life. You know what I'm saying? But if you grew up in a household like the Bebe's Kids, then that's not that was that family function is a liability. And unless y'all go to therapy and get everything straight and get everything on the right path, you probably need to distance yourself from that type of family, and you probably need to create your own family, create a new family. I'm not saying don't speak to your family anymore, but you have to distance yourself. You got to feed them with a long spoon, or you got to set up boundaries so you don't get attached to that type of lifestyle and those liabilities, because that type of family is always going to need, they're always going to ask, they're always going to take, they don't really have much to give. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, are you going to be loyal to yourself, or are you going to be loyal to other people? At the end of the day, yourself comes first, okay? Your relationships, your love relationships, your family, your friend relationships, but pretty much your love relationship, your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, you know what I'm saying? Is that a liability, or is that an asset? Are they being helpful, or are they being dreadful? Are they taking away from you and not giving, or are they giving and receiving? You know what I'm saying? Does this relationship make you a better person, or does it make you insecure? Does it make you, jealous? Does it make you cry? Does it make you feel sad? Do you feel lonely in a relationship? Is this relationship making you a better person? Is your significant other pouring positivity into you? Are they trying to, create? Are you guys on the same page? Do you guys want the same things? Do you guys want are you guys seeing eye to eye? You know what I'm saying? Do they support you in your dreams? Do they make you feel loved? Do they make you feel happy? So your love relationship, is that a liability, or is that an asset? You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a liability and they're making you feel insecure, they're making you feel jealous, you don't feel love, you feel alone in that relationship, or they're not supporting your dreams, and they're not, helping you achieve your goals, or vice versa, and you guys just don't see eye to eye, then you need to let that go, because that's a liability. That's not an asset. But if it's vice versa and they are helping you, they are pouring, positivity into you, they are working with you, you guys are on the same page, you guys want the same things, you guys have a plan for success, then you need to keep that person. You need to stay with that person because they're an asset. They add to you. They don't take away from you. So, that's an asset, Okay, so let's move forward. Your mental health, is your mental health an asset or a liability at this point? Your self-esteem, your self-love, self-awareness, your attitude, your self-image, your self-belief, right? Is your self-esteem high or is it low? You know what I'm saying? If your self-esteem is low, then that's a liability. That's a liability. Your self-esteem can't be low, and you expect that, if it's low, it's not given to you. It's only taken away from you. It's taken away from those opportunities. Say if you got low self-esteem, and you're single, you want to go talk to a girl, you know what I'm saying? If you're a man like myself, or if you're a woman and you want to go talk to another man, but your self-esteem is so low, you don't do it because you're afraid, because you don't have value in yourself. See, that's a liability. You know what I'm saying? It's costing you a chance at possibly meeting the love of your life because your self-esteem is so low, you won't even go approach someone that you find attractive. You know what I'm saying? So, is your self-esteem a liability or an asset? If it's a liability, then you need to work on that. You need to work on loving yourself. You need to work on accepting yourself. You need to, you need to work on whatever made that self-esteem low. You need to work on that. You need to attack that, and you need to raise your self-esteem, your self-love, which is, you need to love yourself, which is going to help raise your self-esteem. Put yourself first. Put your dreams first. Put your aspirations first. Put your goals first, because you can't help nobody unless you help yourself first. You can't give nobody love if you're not loving yourself. Okay, so self-love, right? Self-awareness. Is your self-awareness a liability or an asset? When I mean self-awareness, I mean like, okay, that you are quick-tempered. You know this. You know that, you don't have patience. Your patience is very little. So you have to be self-aware of that. And you have to practice on your patience, and practice on your temper, and practice on the things that you know that you need to practice on. If you talk loud, if you, just be self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Always be self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're self-aware, you can improve yourself. When you're totally just oblivious of who you are and yourself and the things that you do, then you're never going to improve yourself. You're always going to be the same person because you're not aware of yourself. You're not aware of the things that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That is a liability instead of an asset, right? Your attitude. Is your attitude a liability or an asset? If you have a great attitude, that's an asset. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, in life, things happen. You don't have control over everything, but only thing that you do have control over is your attitude and how you respond to things that happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You can always control your attitude. No, regardless of what happens, you can always control your attitude. And usually when you have a great attitude, you're in a great mood, usually good things happen to you. When you're in a bad mood, you have a bad attitude, usually bad things are going to happen to you. It's all about energy, right? So your attitude can take you a long way, and your attitude can also hinder you from getting to the places and achieving your dreams that you want to get to if you don't know how to have a great attitude, and not only for yourself, but for other people, and how to treat other people, and have that great attitude with other people, and also have that great attitude with yourself, which is most important. Self-image. How do you view yourself? Is viewing yourself, is your self-image a liability or an asset? Do you view yourself as a loser? Do you view yourself as unattractive? Do you view yourself as dumb? Do you view yourself as, as not being smart or being lazy? If you view yourself that way, then that's a liability. That's a liability. You need to get rid of those views of yourself. You need to only have views of yourself that can turn into an asset. You need to view yourself as being handsome or good looking. You need to view yourself as being intelligent. You need to view yourself as being smart. You need to view yourself as being a hard worker. You need to view yourself as being a boss, being an entrepreneur. You need to view yourself as being successful in anything that you want to put your mind to. You got to have a great self-image, and that will be an asset for you instead of a bad self-image. Do you view yourself as a thug, or do you view yourself as a strong black man or strong man, whatever? All right. What else? Your emotional health. Is your emotional health an asset or a liability? Your behavior, how you react or how do you respond to situations or circumstances? Are you in control of your emotions when, you're on the phone with customer service and they're not telling you what you want to hear? Or do you turn into a straight, hood rat, or a straight, hood booger, or do you turn evil? Do you turn into a person that nobody likes? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting your way. You know what I'm saying? And you're not taking into account that the person on the other line is only doing their job. They've been at work all day. They've been talking to grumpy customers just like you, right? Can you control your emotions when things don't go your way? When you're in a relationship and your significant other does something that you don't like, or when your friend does something that you don't like, or when, your coworker does something that you don't like, or when, you lose a game if you're playing sports, or when, whatever happens, how do you react? How do you respond? What is your behavior? Your emotions, can you control them? Or do you just wear them on your sleeve and lash out and do things before you think about it, right? And your emotional health can either be an asset or a liability. Do you let what others say to you make you sad or make you quit or make you give up? You know what I'm saying? Like, your emotions are very important. And if you can't control your emotions, it's a liability. But if you can control your emotions, it could be a great asset to you. If bad things can happen to you and you can let it go, and you can learn how to not cry over spilt milk, that can be, such an asset to you in order for you to move on and let bygones be bygones, right? Your physical health. Is your physical health an asset or a liability? Are you in physical shape, right? If the shit hits the fan and the apocalypse happened and World War III happened and all type of wild shit going on, and you gotta get your family, you gotta run, you gotta walk, you gotta hide, you gotta climb, are you able to do that? Are you even halfway able to do that? Can you walk a mile? Can you run a mile? Can you see your stomach? Not your stomach. Can you see your feet? Or is your stomach covering? You can't see your feet. Like, how is your physical health? Because your physical health helps you with your mental health. It helps you with your emotional health. It helps you with your self-esteem. Your physical health can help you in so many areas of your life. it's damn near therapy in itself. So, getting that physical, making sure that you are in shape, making sure that you take care of any ailments, make sure that your muscles and your tendons and and everything is good on your body. You know what I'm saying? And making sure your organs are good, making sure that your muscles are good, making sure that your bones are good. You can't do anything without physical health. Like if you're sick in a bed and you're hurting because you're just out of shape and your body is shutting down on you, it's nothing that you can do. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. Okay, so your physical health is very important. That's very important. That's one of the most important things that you can do that will help you in every area of your life. I promise you. And I was gonna say, and the last one I'm gonna say is education. Is your education a liability or an asset? Now, this is tricky right here because, with me, I believe education is very important, but what kind of education, right? You don't have to learn everything. You have to learn what you are interested in, what you want to do with your life, what's important to you, what you have passion about. Don't try to learn. I have a problem with trying to learn everything because I think I could do everything. I feel like I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But in order for you to be successful, the quickest way, I believe, is to be a master of one thing that's your passion, that you're happy about, that you like doing. If you can master that, that can open you up to do all the other little things that you might want to do. But education is very important. But what kind of education? Get an education that can help you achieve your dreams, help you achieve your goals. Don't just be out here just trying to learn every single thing, okay? Because there's so much shit to learn that it'll take you forever. So narrow that education. But is your education a liability or asset? Are you not getting to where you want to be because you're not educated enough and you need to be more educated? Are you making mistakes in certain areas of your life because you're not educated enough and you need to be more educated, right? Are you, at a standstill in your career and have hit the ceiling and you can't go anymore because you're not educated, right? So that's another thing. And that's the last thing. But before I go, right? The reason why I chose education is because, and I'm gonna let y'all know something about myself, right? I have a bachelor's degree in social work. You know what I'm saying? In all my life, I've been the helper. I've been the healer. I've been the talker. I've been the person that people come to get advice, to get counseling, to get love, to get warmth, to heal their heart, to heal their broken heart, to get direction, right? I've been that person. People come to me for that reason. So right now, I'm in the middle of like, what can I do with this? Like, I'm that person. So what should I do? And so now I realize that in order for me to make a career off of this, in order for me to get, to be certified and for people to look at me as being certified and for people to trust me, is I have to go get more education. I have to go get my master's in psychology. You know what I'm saying? So I can end up becoming a licensed therapist or psychologist, because that's my natural gift anyway. That's my natural talent anyway. That's what I do naturally anyway. As well as, make people laugh. I'm a comedian too, but my passion is helping people, is healing people. You know what I'm saying? And it is no greater feeling than helping and healing people. So now, I realize that, and I've been at a job that I'm just not happy with. I don't like it. I don't like what I do. it's frustrating. This job is becoming a liability instead of an asset, because it's affecting me, my emotional health. It's affecting my mental health, my physical health. So, but in order for me to, help people and get paid the way I need to get paid to support myself, I have to get more education. Simple and plain. But at least I know what area I need to get this education in, and I'm not just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, are the people, places, and things in your life a liability or an asset? You ask yourself, you go down the list, of the things and the people in your life, and see if they're an asset and see if they're a liability. If it's a liability and it's a person or place or thing, you let it go. If it's a liability and it's you change it. And what I mean by you, if it's your attitude, if it's your self-esteem, if it's how you see your self-image, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, if that's a liability, then you have to change it. But if it's a person or it's a habit, like just doing drugs or alcohol or whatever, or having sex or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or lying and cheating and stuff like that, then, or if it's things like that, then you got to drop those things. You know what I'm saying? But, I hope this video helped anybody out there. It's your boy, Ratchet Reggie. Thank you for watching another episode of Narrow Minded. And until next time, I'm out.